The voicepill. This is my real voice, right? This is just how I speak. I've been asked so many times, how is your voice so deep? What do you do for it? Right? I'm 17 years old and my voice has been this deep since I was around 15, I guess. Yeah, like 15 is like, I mean, see, it was quite deep, like, since I hit puberty, right? But it definitely wasn't like this down there, right? Like, so if I was like 13 years old, it was deeper, like, than the average guy. But, now it's like actually deep. So, like, see, I was always on the deeper side. Like, even as a kid, my voice was hoarse, right? It was like, if you know the actor called Farhan Akhtar, right? It was like kind of, you know, yeah, like a raspy voice, even as a kid. So, you know, you could say that, okay, then how would you know how to tell me, how to get a deep voice because you always had it? But the thing is that I've implemented many tactics to make it deeper than it actually is, right? You can very much train your voice. How? Because throat is muscles, right? Your pharynx, your larynx, all of that. They're muscles. That means they're very malleable. That means it's very easy to, modify, change, make them bigger, smaller, stuff like that, right? So, one thing you must understand for sure is that there's nothing to do with actually moving your Adam's apple up or down, right? Even though that does make a difference. Like if I move it down, right, it'll be deeper. And if I move it up, it'll be higher, but it doesn't have to do anything with that. Like you won't be physically moving anything, so it's like quite safe, right? So the first step is what I call deep talking, right? What is deep talking? Deep talking is quite simple. So if I usually talk like this, I'll start talking like this to certain people, right? To certain people who I meet new, I start talking to like this, right? Why new? Because of course, it's perception, right? First impression is last depression or whatever, right? So if you have a deep first impression, it's easier to maintain that than if you like go up to a friend you've known for years and you start speaking like Optimus Prime. It'll be very obvious and they can tell that you're trying to fake it. But you can also do this with people you already know, but it's quite slow with that because you need to slowly take it lower, right? If I can't go from talking like this to talking like this. I need to go lower, 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 and eventually one day I'll reach here. So the basic science behind this is like I this is like complete bro science, right? So if you want like sources or anything, I don't have sources. There's only one source here, which is me. I am the experiment. It's the best experiment you could ever do, like the one man experiment, where you are the guinea pig, right? So it has worked for me, right? Just talking in a deeper tone naturally. Just talking in a deeper tone naturally eventually makes it so that it lowers the baseline of your voice so that your voice is actually deeper than it actually was meant to be. Now your voice is actually, yeah, your voice is your real voice, right? Another tip I've heard, right, is that this is the second tip, by the way, is most people talk through their throats. Smart people talk through their chests. The people who know talk through their diaphragms. But the true Adams, the true Chad Preets, the true Changs, right? The true voice cells talk through their stomachs. And like the Giga Chads talk through their balls, right? But talking through your stomach is real, right? Okay, let me give you an example of how you can do that. Take a deep breath in through your nose, okay? Now, the air you've just taken in, use that air to speak, right? So instead of doing stuff like this, what's up? You heard how high my voice was, right? Instead of doing that, if I do this, yo, what's up? I use that voice. It came from my stomach. I'm legit showing you, right? So speak through your stomach, right? And of course, you won't be able to immediately do this. If you speak through your throat, you're gonna need to go a little lower to your chest. From chest, you can go to your diaphragm, and from your diaphragm, you can go to your stomach. And from your stomach, you can go to your balls. I'm not even kidding. People actually speak through their balls. If you know, if you've heard like the very raspy voices, like House MD, Dr. House, I'm pretty sure he speaks through his balls, right? And now the last and the final tip, right? It's actually called down talking. So the earlier one was deep talking. This is called down talking. So it's quite simple, right? So let's take a sentence. Let's take, I like the book you're reading. Okay, that's my sentence. I like the book you're reading. I could either say it like this. Okay, this is like the pitch, right? I like the book you're reading. Or I could go, I like the book you're reading. What sounds more sexy? Obviously the second one. Why? Because the last syllable or the last word was deeper. Why? If you've heard of, there's a theory, I don't exactly remember what it's called, but it basically says that the last impression in everything. So like even if there's like a dance competition, the person who danced last will have the most impression on the judges, right? Same thing with English. The last word you give out, right? Because sounds stay in your head for only like 0.5 seconds, if I'm not wrong, half a second. The last word, if that stays, no, see, the last word will always stay the longest. The person you're talking, like the other person's head. So if the last word which comes out of your mouth is deep, that's gonna create perception, and you're gonna fraud off of that. So stay happy, stay smiling, become a voice cell. It's completely possible. Don't give up, don't drop max, and bye bye.